The night air buzzed with laughter and clinking glasses as my backyard glowed under strings of golden lights. I'd spent weeks planning this community fundraiser, a night to raise money for the local animal shelter. Neighbors mingled, kids darted through the crowd, and the scent of grilled food wafted through the warm summer air. Everything was perfect until Karen strutted in, her heels clicking like a warning shot. She wore a glittering dress that screamed money, her chin tilted high as if the rest of us were beneath her. Trailing her were 5 uninvited guests, each louder and more entitled than the last, shoving their way to the buffet. While I politely asked for their invitations, Karen's eyes narrowed. "You don't know who I am, do you?" she sneered, her voice dripping with condescension. I held my ground, explaining the event was ticketed for charity. She laughed, a sharp, mocking sound, and waved me off. "I bring who I want. Deal with it." The tension snapped like a taut wire. Karen wasn't just crashing. She was claiming my event as her stage. I didn't back down. Years of running community events had taught me to handle types like Karen. I calmly reiterated the rules, but her entourage started heckling, one of them tossing a plastic cup onto the lawn. The crowd grew quiet, sensing the shift. Karen's face twisted with rage. "You're embarrassing me," she shrieked, jabbing a manicured finger at me. I stood firm, banning her guests on the spot. That's when she pulled out her phone, her smirk venomous. "I'm calling the cops," she declared, loud enough for everyone to hear. "You'll regret this." My heart raced, but I kept my composure. The guests whispered, some outraged, others amused. Karen thought she'd won, but she didn't know who she was dealing with or what I was capable of. As Karen dialed, I slipped away to the house, my mind racing. I wasn't just the event organizer. I was also a part-time reserve deputy, a fact I kept quiet to avoid overshadowing the night. Karen's call was a power play, but she'd miscalculated. I knew the officers on duty, they were my colleagues. While she ranted in her phone about assault and discrimination, I changed into my deputy uniform, the badge glinting under the kitchen light. But then came the twist. My neighbor, Mrs. Clara, a quiet widow who'd been watching from the sidelines, approached me. She'd overheard Karen earlier, boasting about sneaking her guests in to teach this nobody a lesson. Clara's voice trembled as she revealed Karen had also trashed her garden last month, claiming it lowered property values. Her story lit a fire in me. Karen wasn't just a nuisance. She was a bully who'd been dodging accountability for too long. The police arrived, lights flashing, drawing gasps from the crowd. Karen stood triumphant, pointing at me as she spun a tale of victimhood. "That's her. She attacked me," she lied, her guests nodding along like trained puppets. The officers, recognizing me, raised their eyebrows but played along, asking for my side. I stepped forward in my uniform, the crowd falling silent. Karen's jaw dropped, her confidence crumbling like cheap makeup. "You're a cop?" she stammered. I nodded, explaining how her uninvited guests disrupted a charity event and how her lies wasted police resources. But I wasn't done. I pointed to the overturned tables, the shattered plates, the trampled decorations. Karen's tantrum had escalated when I'd stepped away. Witnesses confirmed she'd shoved a table in her rage, screaming about ruining this pathetic party. The officers' faces hardened. Vandalism. False reporting. Karen had dug her own grave. The confrontation peaked as I held up a tablet, displaying footage from a neighbor's security camera. There was Karen, clear as day, flipping tables and laughing as her guests cheered. The crowd gasped. Some clapped. Karen's face turned ashen, her designer heels suddenly looking like shackles. "This is a setup," she screamed, but the evidence was undeniable. The officers cuffed her, her protests echoing as they led her to the patrol car. Her guests slunk away, avoiding eye contact. Mrs. Clara stepped forward, her voice steady now. "You thought you could bully everyone, Karen. Not tonight." The crowd erupted in cheers, the weight of Karen's reign lifting. I signed the arrest warrant myself, my pen steady, feeling the justice of the moment. Karen's empire of entitlement had collapsed, and she'd built the ruins with her own hands. As the night wound down, the fundraiser roared back to life. Neighbors donated generously, inspired by the stand against Karen's tyranny. We raised double our goal for the shelter, and the air felt lighter, freer. Justice wasn't just served, it was celebrated. Karen's downfall reminded us all that no one is above accountability, no matter how loud they scream or how much they spend. The next day, stories of her antics spread, each one a lesson in humility. So, what do you think? When does standing up to a bully cross the line? Or was this justice just right? Share your thoughts.